told you in a prior video that I was going to tell you the pros and cons of working in accounting, so that if you are somebody who is later in your career, later in life, and you're now looking at a change in career and you're really starting to think about working in accounting and finance, then you want to make sure that you've got all the facts. So this is going to be a very open, very honest review of what it's like working in accounting and finance. Let's start with, should we do cons or pros first? We'll do the cons first and then we can end on a high with the pros. So some of the cons that you might find working in accounting and finance is that sometimes, depending on the route that you've gone down, whether that be practice or industry, which I'll explain in a second the differences, you can find that you end up working quite long hours. Sometimes you might find that you're not going to be on the best pay. You might end up having to take a small pay cut initially in the first 1 to 2 years of your changing career. You also might find that working in an office doesn't suit you because it doesn't suit everybody, and definitely for myself, and I'll talk about this in a later video, I don't suit working in an office 100%. It's not my thing at all. Even though I've been in the industry for this long, I still to this day and from day one never liked working in an office, so that was always a con for me. But equally, you might be somebody who really enjoys working in an office, working in that environment. So some of the other things that you won't think about or know about is there is a lot of communication in accounting and finance. So if you're thinking that this is a back office room job, that's not the case at all. If that's what you're thinking and the reason why you're thinking of a change to accounting and finance, it might have been the case circa 50, 60 years ago, but it's definitely not the case now. And a lot of your time, whether you're working in an accountancy practice or working in the finance function in a company, you will be dealing with people. So if you work in a practice, it's going to be dealing with clients, whether that be on the phone, in person, or via email. And with that comes the added issue, if you want to call it that, or con, that they have contact with you at any point in the day. So, you never know what's going to be in your inbox, you never know if they're going to phone you that day, etc. So if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily like having that lack of control over what's going to happen in your workday, then maybe, again, that might be a con for you. If you work in industry and you've got to deal with people, then you'll be dealing with people from other departments, so from sales, from procurement, etc. So you've got to be able to speak to people. So if you're quite a shy individual who doesn't like that aspect of your current job, then you might not like that working in accounting and finance either. Let's move on to some pros of working in accounting and finance. So some pros is that if you work in industry in particular, you can receive a very high salary for the job that you are undertaking. But there is a reason for that, because particularly if you've been in the industry for circa 10 years plus, then you're going to have a huge knowledge base. And people trust you, people rely on you to provide them with financial guidance, etc. So yes, that is a very good pro. As I mentioned earlier, that might not be the case when you first transition over, but the pay rises compared to other industries is significant in accounting and finance, as you might well already know. And if you want to check out the type of salaries you might be earning, if you go on the likes of Reed or Indeed or another job search website, then you can see those salaries on there. Another pro is that you get to work with a lot of different individuals from different businesses, so you're exposed to a whole range of different industries. So you might one day be working with somebody who has a huge manufacturing business, the next day you might be working with somebody who has an e-commerce shop. So you're exposed to all these different types of industries and different types of business, different sizes of business, and it's very, very, very interesting actually when you start getting into it and speaking to these very successful people. And from my experience, they're always very open to share with you exactly how they've done things and all about their business, how it works, etc. So you really get knee deep into how a business works, every single aspect of a business. So for instance, if you're somebody who's thinking that you want to move into accounting and finance to learn that business acumen, then it's definitely 100% a very, very good move to move into accounting and finance if you want to learn that and one day open up your own business. And it doesn't have to be in accounting and finance either. You could open your own business in, again, manufacturing, e-commerce, etc. So yeah, definitely another pro. And a final pro would be that every single day is a learning day, so no 2 days are the same. It's not a boring job. You learn something new about a different industry, or the way that works, or the way a client works, etc. There's just so much to learn every day, and I find that in this industry compared to other industries, you'll find that people are very open to help you and open to share their knowledge with you, so that's definitely another pro. So we'll end it there. Yeah, that's the end of video 5 of this mini series, and I shall catch you at the next one.